realized something. The screen was very blurry. Hope it's not like that throughout most of this video. If it is, oh well. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay, that said, Captain America lives. Oh, through Sam Wilson. Wow. This whole show is really something. Alright, so here's the review. Here's my review for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Whew. Okay. A lot to process. Let me start off by saying I enjoyed pretty much almost every single episode. I like how each episode wasn't very action heavy. There was like maybe one or two major action scenes per episode. Most of the show is character development. Most of the show's character development, and that's a really good thing. I think it worked really well in this show. I mean, the action's great, especially the first episode with the Falcon's big introductory action scene in the desert with Batroc. I was shocked to see Batroc return. So I thought he was in prison, number one, you know. But we'll get to that later. I love all the action scenes, but the show really shines when there was interactions between the characters, particularly the two leads. Sebastian Stan playing the Winter Soldier and Anthony Mackie playing the Falcon. Together on screen is amazing. I love it. The little banter between them feels so genuine. It feels like that. And it's hilarious. Staring contest. But really the show is mainly about, I mean overall it's about where Captain America's legacy, Steve Rogers, where his legacy is going. And this was mainly Sam's story. You know, it's just the whole show, starting back to the end of Avengers Endgame with Steve Rogers passing the shield on to him. This whole show is about him leading into him becoming Captain America, which he does at the very last episode, and it is so well done and worth it. I mean, this guy's Sam Wilson. He is Captain America now, man. And that big speech he gives in the last episode about trying to unify together, because they all have the same common conflict now with, you know, how to rebuild after the snap, you know, and the whole and talking about not labeling each other is I mean, I'm watching this speech and I'm like, this guy really has got down to Steve Rogers' handbook, doesn't he? This guy's embodying Captain America. I can't wait to see what happens next for Sam Wilson. The Winter Soldier, good development for the Winter Soldier. Trying to move on from his really terrible past. I mean, this is one of the most tortured characters within the MCU, along with Rocket too. But the Winter Soldier hasn't really had a whole lot of focus. Not too much focus until now. This show is really, and that's another thing. This show is Disney Plus shows are really doing a magnificent job taking minor characters that was shown in previous media that maybe didn't get enough screen time or not enough focus, and just makes them the focus, gives them the attention they really do deserve, and us as the audience wants to feel for these characters. And the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, is one of those characters. I'm glad he gets a lot of closure in this show, and moving on from really moving on from his past life as a Hydra agent. They're going back to the show being about Steve Rogers' legacy. I had a prediction. I feel like I had some sort of idea where this show was going. All this talk of people all these characters we're seeing getting let down by, you know, the idea of Captain America and the symbolism behind it. It's like Isaiah, for example, being left out in history. You know, all these characters saying this shield means, this shield is, the symbol of the shield is too painful for a lot of people. It should be destroyed. They kept talking about it like that, and I'm thinking, I feel like the shield's gonna get destroyed by the end of this episode. By the end of the last episode, already has been destroyed, but for good this time. I thought that maybe that's where they were heading, but no. Sam Wilson is breathing new light into the legacy of Captain America. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things I love about this show is the direction they've taken with Steve Rogers' legacy. Steve Rogers' story is one of my favorite storylines within the MCU. You know, he's basically become one of my favorite heroes within the MCU. So to see where they're going with his legacy in this way is really something special. Thank you, Sam Wilson. Thank you, Anthony Mackie. Now let's get on to another one of my favorite characters. I love Sam Wilson in this show. Another character I really like in the show, which I hadn't liked previously, Baron Helmut Zemo. Oh my god, this guy was a lot of fun in this show. I did not like the character of Zemo in Civil War. Not because I don't think the character was done well. It's just I didn't like the character. It's a very, very hateable character, you know? Kind of like another character in this show we'll get to in a minute. You already know who I'm talking about. I really didn't like Zemo. So when I heard that he was going to be in the show, you know, I was like, alright, time to get this guy again. But this guy, again, lots of more development for minor characters who weren't given that much development before. I really like Zemo. He's becoming easily one of my favorite villains now within the MCU, up there with, you know, along with Thanos and Mysterio, and now Zemo, my top 3 villains in the MCU. Now, here's the thing. One of the reasons why I didn't really like Zemo, not only is he a really hateable character, but I kind of don't... I'm not a big fan of character motivations, villain, hero, it doesn't matter. I'm not a big fan of character motivations when the character's motivation is when, like, they've been personally inconvenienced. Oh my god, this character, they had their family killed, so they're gonna go out of their way to kill anyone, just about anybody, to get their revenge. You know, this character killed their family, so they're gonna make their way up and kill this person or whatever by just killing any other innocent people just to get. It's a very selfish, and I don't know. It's not. It doesn't help empathize with them really, if that makes sense. If what I just said makes sense, but yeah, but I like this. I liked the character of Zemo in this show. He's very smart. I think the show did a good job of exploring just how smart he is. I mean, he's smart in Civil War, but I think we're getting a better idea of just how he's at least he's out of line, but he knows what he's doing. You know, that's why he never chose to kill Sam or Bucky. You know, I thought eventually that's where the show was going to lead up to. Because I was starting to like Zemo, but I still didn't trust him very, you know, obviously. No, he never really hurt our main protagonist. He always just works with them. I mean, yeah, he's a little nuts, but I like the guy. He's a cool character with some cool dance moves. What the hell was that? Alright, now let's get on to a character I really hated in this show. When I first saw John Walker appear on screen holding the shield after Sam wanted to retire it, it was all... oh man, I really didn't enjoy seeing that at all. I mean, I knew there was going to be like a new Captain America or something like that. But just seeing him hold the shield it turned me off. And you know, and Wyatt Russell does. This isn't criticism for Wyatt Russell. He put on a great performance as this hateable character, this insane character. So, yeah, that's not criticism of him. He did a perfect job embodying this unhinged U.S. soldier, or should I say, U.S. agent. After sitting on it and analyzing it, after a while, I realized that this guy, he's just trying to live up to people's expectations. He's been chosen as the next Captain America by the U.S. government, so he's trying his best to live up to it, but you know, the pressure was getting to him and it was making him snap. That's why he took the serum and it made him worse. But in the end episode, when I was actually watching the end episode. When I was watching the end episode, he's fighting Carly while the freaking van full of people is on fire. I'm thinking to myself, Steve Rogers would help those people in that van. So yeah, I still didn't like the guy at that point. But then, he freaking saves the van, or a different van, but he saves people in a van. And I'm like, he throws his handmade shield down, which, by the way, that was not a bad replica of Steve's shield. He threw his shield down. He's dropping the Captain America, act that he was trying to follow up. You know, Sam. He's come to accept that Sam is the next Captain America. I'm still not very unsure of the guy though. Still not unsure. I'm very unsure of this guy. By the end of the episode, he's becoming U.S. agent. Which, by the way, let me get to that. I didn't realize that John Walker was based on a comic book character. But it wasn't until after seeing the last episode where I was like, oh, this is a character. Okay, U.S. agent. So I thought they just made him up for the show, but that's fine. You know, it's a good. A way of learning, I think, more, you know? Like with, all these new Marvel characters that they keep, or organizations that they keep adding on into the MCU, I keep looking up in my Marvel encyclopedia to read more about it. You know? What's this organization? I don't know, but it's, what was it called? Sword. What the hell did I forget that? So Sword, look at this sword. Looking at the symbol, had a sword on it. Before they even mentioned the name of the organization, I was just like, I'm gonna look that up. Is there anything in here named Sword? Oh yeah, is this it? Oh, moderators. That could be it, I don't know. So yeah, that's what I do. We're clearly gonna see more of this character, U.S. agent. I still don't really know, don't really trust the guy still, because still, the super soldier serum still made him nuts, so. Yeah, we'll see what happens. He seems like he genuinely wants to do good, but he still may not be all there. Sharon Carter. Wow, what the hell happened to her? I mean, I get it in the 5-year time span after the blip and her being labeled as a enemy of the state, or I get it's gonna change, it'll change people, and a lot of people changed in this time span. 5 years passed. Well, for her, she was a fugitive for longer than that. But yeah, I get that. But how did I not piece together that she was the power broker? I feel like I was getting there, thinking about who could. Before seeing the last episode, I was thinking, who could be the power broker? And there were things I was thinking like, it was a bit of a coincidence for Sharon to run into our heroes in Madripoor like that. Thinking back on it a little bit, it does make a lot more sense. I was getting there, piecing it together, so close. And just about everybody pretty much pieced together that she may have been the power broker, and she was. So yeah, it was very obvious. I don't know how I didn't 100% put it together. I thought maybe it was going to be a character we know. It's probably going to be a character with maybe supernatural abilities. I don't know. Maybe it's still... Because I had in my mind they were going to reveal the power broker, who they were at the very end. Like the very end of the show. Maybe in a post-credit scene or something. And she was in the post-credit scene, but that was not where her big reveal was. She's the niece of a World War II hero who's a founder of S.H.I.E.L.D., fought Nazis, and was new Captain America. And no, this is the anti-Agent Carter, basically. She's gonna reveal government secrets or whatever. She's intentionally was creating super soldier serum for terrorists. Sorry, they're not. No labels, but for the sake of what I'm saying, I'm gonna call them terrorists. Her personality completely flips, man. I wonder what's gonna happen. Let's get to Carly Morgenthau. Like Sam Wilson, I agreed with her in a way that, you know, now that everybody's back, we should help each other equally, not push people out of the country. Oh, okay, we're gonna return everything back to normal. I felt for her a little bit. Her people needed help. She needed help. But the thing is, I think she was mainly fighting for herself and for the people in her own circle. You know, she's saying stuff like she wants everyone around the world, she wants to help people who are being affected by now the New World Order. But at the same time, she's gonna kill anybody who gets in her way. She's killing people left and right. Even her own allies were starting to turn on her a little bit, starting to become a little unsure of her, especially in that last episode. But yeah, her message, I kind of got. How she was going about it, 100% did not agree with. Like, not at all. You know, something I want to talk about before I close out this review for the show is there are things happening in this show now that the world's gone back to normal after the blip. It's hard to handle this new world order that's going on. Hey, half the people in the world disappeared, now they're all back again. And this is like, so the population for the planet just shot up because there are new people now in this world, and then the people who disappeared are back. Thanos was trying to prevent the problems that are addressed in this show. He wanted to fix overpopulation, you know, because otherwise planets will die out. Again, don't agree with the way Thanos was going about it by killing everybody, but still, his point is being made here. He succeeded at what he did, killing half the universe. I remember Captain America saying in Endgame, I saw a pot of whales in the Hudson River. That's exactly what Thanos was trying to do, make every world healthier and easier to live in. And now everybody's back. Completely undone what Thanos did with literally the snap of their fingers. And now, you know, this character who we never got to meet, Donya Madani, she had tuberculosis, according to what Dr. Nagel, this wacko scientist, said. She has tuberculosis probably because, you know, this is what it's like living in these camps due to overpopulation. She has tuberculosis. That's a speck of an example of what Thanos was trying to prevent. And the problems addressed in this show are exactly proves his point. So, man, what an impact Thanos has had in this universe. Just with the themes, too. Not just his physical presence, but his ideas. I just thought it was interesting that this one little detail, among many problems addressed in the show, basically make Thanos' point. Yeah. Alright, so maybe I'm a little biased because I do love Captain America. You know, and I love the Steve Rogers story in these movies. But I did enjoy the show more than WandaVision. WandaVision's great. It is great. I mainly like the second half of the show. But I pretty much enjoyed this show throughout. Each episode was very long, Mandalorian length, basically, like 40 to 50 minutes. One episode was 60 minutes. But, I enjoyed the little intimate moments with characters talking. That's what really made the show great, not just the awesome action. It really was awesome. You know, especially Falcon's scenes. These people who criticize, because the last episode got mixed reviews, I don't know. I feel like that was a pretty good way to close out. Maybe one or two storylines were rushed to the end, but also, you know, it's building into it's leaving cliffhangers for what's to come next, again with U.S. Agent. I don't know, for the most part it was impactful as hell, that last episode. And Isaiah, oh, listening to Isaiah's story is gut-wrenching. That last scene with him in that last episode, where his story's finally being told to the world in that museum, that Captain America museum. Oh man, that was a great way to close the episode out. I'm really glad they gave that character a good ending in this show. It's a very minor character, but really made an impact on Sam's character. And I would think on the audience too. It's like, wow. So yeah, going back to the mixed reviews, I don't know. You know, WandaVision's finale was mainly a lot of action in the first half, and then the second half, main character Wanda gets to close out her story, you know, in a good way. It's basically the same thing for this finale in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. A lot of action first half, second half we close out on characters' stories in really strong, impactful ways. Maybe a little rushed, but still, I think it was emotionally impactful. So I mean, the show as a whole was great. You know, these mixed reviews. I don't know. I don't think of that finale as negative as you know. I think it was a good finale. Either we get a second season of this show first, or we're gonna see where the story continues in the next 4th Captain America movie. Wow. Sorry, Iron Man 4 believers. No. But we're getting Ironheart, so so happy where this universe is going. They're really, MCU's really expanding and experimenting with different stories, and it's gonna just keep going higher and higher. Alright, that's the end of my review for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Love the show. I'm gonna film another video right after this. It's gonna be a trailer reaction. I'll see you in a bit. I'm gonna change my shirt for that because we're done with the review. See you at the next react, which is I'm doing immediately.